Welcome to the Flip Your Chips podcast.
Hey, well, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, baby. All right, so welcome to Flip Your Chips podcast. Here's not just about the ROI in dollars, but also the ROI in life. Achieving one without the other is like a half flip coin. We're here to bridge the gap, offering tips, tools, and resources in finance and entertainment. Let's flip those chips and make every investment count.
This episode of Flip Your Chips is brought to you in part by Tide Water. Stay hot.
Tap water, baby. Stay hydrated. So, how are you today, sis? Talk to us.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm great. It's day 4 of Ramadan. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fast. I'm feeling light speed. How are you?
For sure. I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm excited about the things that we have planned in the near future and just good energy, man. It's a good day.
Man, we've been doing this. We on 3 months now. We started January 18th. Oh my
It don't
God.
even feel like it. It's crazy.
February, March. Yo, it'll be February. It'll be 2 months, March 18th.
Yep.
We have done in 5 days, we'll be celebrating our 2-month anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. And we're just getting started. We haven't even scratched the surface yet.
That's what I'm saying. It's the warm up. So let's talk about the Tikoon tips. What do you have for us this week?
Well, my tip this week is it's gonna lead us right into like our episode, but detoxing, fasting. I'm obviously practicing what I preach. So my tip is really relative to my spiritual practice right now. I think that even if you don't have a religious belief or a higher calling, fasting in general is just great. So it takes a lot of discipline to stop yourself from doing something that no one's forcing you to do. It's like, I'm not drinking or eating for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's a commitment that I made. I pray 5 times a day. I have to make wudu and cleanse myself before prayer. It is once you do something like Ramadan, it makes you think to yourself, like, what can I do? I did it last year for the first time. Shout out to Lady. I did it with her. It was incredible. I did it in support of her. And then this year I did it, and it was something that just resonated with me. I'm a very disciplined person and never really claimed to any specific religion, but when I saw that there was an intention or a peacefulness with prayer, again, I'm not here to convert anybody or suggest anything. My theory is I got into it for the fasting. And because of that, that led me to be more interested in it. I think it's just important. Like my friend Dale, shout out to Dale. He does a fast every year right before his birthday, where he's like, no sugar, no carbs, no red sauces or whatever. My mom, she's on the Dr. Bobby Price fast. So I think whatever that is, and I took it a step further and decided that I wasn't going to consume the music that I typically like to listen to, that I wasn't going to watch any television. I'm just reading the Quran, I'm praying and working on the things that I already have going on right now. So my Tikoon tip would be to detox, to fast, to purify yourself, to drink more water, allow yourself to use. We had a private conversation before we got on here and you were like, your brain is moving fast. And I'm like, I'm fasting. Like it's just been an incredible experience. And whether you want to do the Daniel fast, whether you want to, whatever fast you could do, if it's 24 hours, if it's no meat or whatever it is, I just encourage you to sacrifice.
Yeah.
It takes 21 days to make a habit. So can you give up coffee? Can you give up matcha? Can you give up sex? Can you give up alcohol? Can you give up food? Can you give up social media? Just find something to get rid of for the time being, just to see, how you are. So have you ever done a fast before?
Not as intense as Ramadan, but I have done a small little fast, but it's motivating, just hearing you talk about it, to be honest. So I guess my question is for you, for someone that's interested in fasting, may not have, done it for an extensive amount of time, what would you, I guess, advise as a sense of encouragement to continue to stay disciplined and stick to that path? Because some people will start off good and then it's like, man, I really want that burger, or whatever the case is. So what would you, give as advice for that?
Man, it's like the movie Fighting Temptations. I think we all know what's good for us, and I think we gotta first identify wants versus needs. Like, do I need that matcha? Cause I love like, I don't know if you know this, but lavender matchas are my favorite drinks. Like, if you want to please me, please give me a cup of lavender matcha. Give me my flowers so I can drink them, because ain't nobody gonna give them to me. The
Right.
day I start Ramadan, they put lavender matchas at Starbucks. So now I see
Mhm.
lavender matchas everywhere in my face.
Temptation, huh?
You know, and I don't even like go to Starbucks to get my matchas typically, but I think balancing the wants versus the needs, and committing to yourself. I have a tendency to show up for everybody but myself, like, because word is bond to me. So if it's like, if I got to show up for India, I'm gonna show up, but I'm not gonna show up for me. Like, if you told me to do something, I do it. But if I said I wasn't gonna eat that juicy burger, I'm still gonna eat it. Like, I'm just like, it's to a point right now in my life where, they say fear Allah, fear God. I don't want to disappoint God that much. That if I said that I was going to make the commitment to a person that's ever omniscient, that you cannot see, but you could feel, why can I commit to you and I can see you, but I know there's a God that exists. But if I say to God, I'm not going to eat, or I'm like, have a fear of displeasing God. When they say fear of God, have a fear that you not keeping your word to God is going to be displeasing to him. And even if you do repent, ask for forgiveness. I'd say that, and to add to something, I don't know if you know this. To the audience, I used to live in India. This was, I don't know what year this was, but it was after we graduated, I went to New York. I was at Bob and Viacom, and I went back to VA, and then I was making my way back up. And you was like, sis, come stay with me. And I was working at Crunch Fitness at the time.
Mhm.
My first fast that I ever had did in my life was at your house. I don't know if you remember this. I didn't do Ramadan, but I was fasting because I was at the stadium every Wednesday for them daggone lemon pepper wings. He was like, yo, you in the strip club every Wednesday. I'm like, mind the business. Like, I was lit. And
Mhm.
I don't know what it was that hit me, but I was like, I want to do a fast.
Yeah.
So the fast that I had did at that time, um, I just didn't eat any whole foods throughout the day. So I woke up in the morning. I remember you were in Southwest at the time.
Mhm.
I think that was by the Washington National Stadium,
On
right?
waterfront.
So I would wake up in the morning and I would make me a boiled egg. This is when I wasn't vegan. I was boiled egg and oatmeal and like some turkey sausage. I would go to the gym. That was like 5 a.m. And then throughout the day, I wouldn't eat anything at all. I would drink a shake and I would drink water. I would come home and I'd make a grilled chicken breast, white rice and green beans. I did that for 7 days. And I
Mhm.
remember, and no one, I don't know why I did it, but I did it while I was at your house.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that was the only time I had ever fasted up until Ramadan of last year. So that was years ago. That was
yeah.
like 7, 10 years ago. So my
Wow.
first fast, this is my third fast, but the first one was at your house.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And now that I'm listening to you, I remember that
You
now.
remember me fasting?
I remember that regiment, like you was cooking in the morning and then you came back. And yeah,
I ate the
I remember
same
that.
thing. I like to simplify, and it was
Yeah.
such a beautiful. Thank you again for like even letting me stay there
Oh
during that
yeah.
time. It was a
No,
very
yeah.
crazy time in my life, but that was just something that it was like, I don't know why I did it, but then when Ramadan came around, it just felt like I know the world is fasting. It's something about the support group of it. It's like accountability. I know everybody's praying at 6 a.m. It's
Yeah.
something about we're all praying to God. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We're all fasting. So it just feels like, Assalam, I see you, so it's like now it's like your brother or your sister holding you accountable. Can't nobody make me do it, but it feels like a good community aspect. And again, I didn't mean to take that Tikoon tip to the next level, but that
Nah, that was perfect. I think one of the most significant things I heard you say was that you wanted to do it. And I feel like people have to be in a place where they want to do it because that's what's going to get them through those challenging times. So that's
yeah.
awesome, man. That's awesome. I take my hat off to you on that one.
Thank you, sis. Yeah, that's the Tycoon tip fast
Oh,
detox. But what about the flip your chips tips? What you got for us today?
so the more that I, work with other students, I'm realizing more that I need to emphasize and let them know that this is a marathon and not a race.
Neighborhood.
Um, with trading, it can be so deceptive because you can make money so fast, and it's like, oh, well, if I can make it this fast, I can do this, do that, and I can change my whole situation fast. But it's not that you can't make the money in a short period of time. It's the amount of time that it takes for you to grow into being a professional trader. And that's the part that's a marathon because you have to be able to be disciplined enough to show up every day, be willing to take the losses every day, not every day, but be willing to take the losses throughout your period of time. And people think, oh, if I trade for 5 days, a month, a week, a year, I'm a professional trader. No, it takes time. Think about all the professionals, professional athletes, professional doctors, lawyers. It took them years to get to where they are. And
Mm.
so you have to take that same mindset when it comes to trading. If you want to make money like a professional athlete or money like a doctor, you got to put in the time like one too. So if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, well, it's going to pay you like a business. So, yeah.
Listen, I got a couple things I want to chime on to that. Questions and statements. It's interesting, right? If we go back to the word fast, you said that people get into trading and they want money fast. It's so interesting. I don't know if that was intentional that you did that.
No, it was not. It was not. I know what your wordplay is.
You know how my brain going. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
So they want money fast, right? And then what's crazy is that I have less than I'm fast.
Mm.
You want more by moving fast. I'm slowing down, but I'm going faster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have less of what I'm used to having, but my speed is like a light. You was like, yo,
Yeah.
you're moving extremely fast.
Right.
So if we even go back to religion or to spirituality, be still and know that I'm God.
Yeah.
Yeah, people might think because the earth was made in 7 days. I guess people think we're not God, right? God made all of this very quickly, right?
Mm.
And it takes 9 months to make a child.
Mm.
Like, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I know some people that were born premature and they're totally fine now. But do you think about a mother? As bad as she wants her baby, does she want that baby to come out premature? No, she wants the full term. And if you really want to get funky, so it takes 9 months to make a child, right? So 1 in 8 is 9, and that's divine. 1 in 8 is great because that's your birthday. That's 18. So 1 in 8 is 9. So it's really like a divinity in us.
Yeah.
In what we're doing.
Yeah.
I know we're 10 plus years in, which is why this is moving like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm at a point right now, to be very honest with you, I don't want anything fast. As much as I would like some fast money right now, I'm cool off that because
Oh
the
my
way you get it,
God, you
the way
preaching to
you
the
lose
choir on that one.
it.
Oh my God. Because I used to think that when I first started trading, I'm like, oh shit, I can, you know what I'm saying? I can run it out real fast, real quick. Man, as fast as I made it, as fast as I lost it. So
Yeah.
that's a lesson in itself. You know what I mean? Just in life, like everything that has value involves a process. And
You
if
know
it
what?
doesn't have a process, I don't want anything to do with it because now I can't learn. I can't maintain it. I can't sustain it if I don't go through the process because I don't know what that looks like.
You know, I know when we get off of this, we're going to talk about something personal, but before we got on here, I told you about my appreciation for my car and certain people.
Yeah.
It makes the battle or the war that I'm experiencing right now. I'll say do it because you know that song. That'll be more, you know exactly what I'm saying. Even the conviction to say that person, right? To say it. I said it. But I say this to say, for anything that you love or anything that you are struggling with, keeping or sustaining that, like you said, if it's a fight for it, my perspective, I'm not making it about that, but my perspective right now is like, I wonder if that's why I'm still so not attached, but still like, there's something here.
Yeah.
When you love something, like if you fight for it, like you're willing to go through whatever it is to keep it. And it's just, like I said, I can't express it specifically, but I resonate with that. Not if you got it fast, you'll lose it fast. I don't even, to be honest, I ain't lost it. I know I haven't lost it. But just
And then
based off what we
you gotta
talk.
identify what a loss is. You know what I mean? Is it a loss or is it a lesson? So
It's definitely, in hindsight, it's a lesson because I wouldn't change what happened. I would not change what happened, but the person I am right now, the way that I love on my car, the way that I love on you, it's like, yo, let me show you how to love. Let me show you how much I appreciate you. And when God blesses you with something that you lost, this is going to be a statement for anybody. If God gives you something back that you've asked for, please keep your word. If you make a mistake or whatever, cherish it and nurture it. Because we get one thing, I want a new car, we get it, and then we be mad, and then we want the next car. We just be ready to replace things. Be grateful for your home, for your t-shirt. And my gratitude, and I'll tell you this about fasting, especially Ramadan, you appreciate water so differently. When 7 o'clock hit, man,
Facts.
I'll break out a faucet at that point. I'm like, I'm really live. Like,
Wow, that's very insightful. Like when you think about that, like when you take yourself away from the things that you feel like is a norm or you should have, and when you don't have it anymore, you have a different perspective on it. Like,
appreciate it. Think
no, I
about people.
appreciate it on
There's
so
people
many
getting
levels.
bombed on in Israel.
Yeah,
There's people that will die for a cup of water. I
yeah,
feel like that's the sacrifice, right? I'm not homeless and I'm not going through that, but I know what it feels like to be thirsty. I feel like that person on the side of the road. Can you give me some money for food? I'm hungry with you. I'm starving
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
So my gratitude and my
We can relate.
appreciation, when I bite my first piece of food, I'm like, alhamdulillah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for this.
for
So
sure.
it starts to, that's why I encourage people to fast. If you have lost appreciation, you could fast from your spouse. Hold
Mhm.
on now. Wait a minute. Hey now. I already know you know where I'm going, sis. Fasting in relationships, we can call it space. You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave it there because
yeah.
I
That's
need to
good.
talk to you privately. That right there is heavy.
Yeah, nah, you ain't even got. I'm here with you with that. You know what I'm saying? Like fasting from anything, specifically to what you just talked about, it just gives you perspective.
Yeah.
Like what you appreciated that you kind of overlooked or took for
What's the
granted,
grass
or
greener?
you know what I'm saying? All of that. So yeah, we're gonna tap back into that when we get
Yeah,
to our
we
yeah.
have to, because I'm like,
Mhm.
I like, that is deep.
Yeah,
Like, that's a personal thing. And the last thing
yeah,
I'm gonna say about this, when you
uh-huh.
do Ramadan, they suggest you make a list. In your
Yeah.
30 days of Ramadan, you got 30 verses in the Quran. They say, make a list of all the things that you won't do, the things you will do, the things you need to fix, a quantity list and a quality list. So there's 5 things that
Mm.
I write down. And I can encourage you, even if y'all not participating in Ramadan, I'd encourage you guys to to not do, to do. And the idea is that, okay, if you fall short and after Ramadan, you pick back up on smoking or whatever, do it in moderation, whatever, still pray, still be on your deen, but make a list of what to fix. So I have relationships that I needed to fix, people that I didn't want to talk to or reach out to, that I'm holding myself accountable to, things that I'm not going to do. I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to listen to secular music. Things I am going to do is I'm going to pray more. I'm not going to talk negatively about people. It's so purifying of your mind. So I would say if any of you don't want to fast, just do that list. Those 5 things.
Wow.
And again, to do
Wow.
list, to not do list, a to fix list, a quantity list, and a quality list.
Wow.
I'd encourage.
I'm listening to you and I'm like, oh, I can use this in the training spectrum. I can put this together for for students, like how you going to change your trajectory. Yeah, that's good. That's
And you
really
know
good.
what, to add to that, you could call it, you want to make money fast, then you need to fast.
Mm, I like that.
Hey, we got a new segment. We might need to do
Yeah,
about
that's the
fast
next
money. Like,
that's the next one.
yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the mogul moves.
Yes.
Mogul
Speaking
moves for the
of,
week. Let's get it.
so look, y'all, like, I have not been consuming anything, but something
Mhm,
great happened in my hometown. I want to
mhm,
say shout out to the answer and the question. If you
mhm.
all basketball players knew who I'm talking about,
Oh
Al
yeah, yeah,
Iverson.
the big
Um,
three. Yeah.
yeah, VA, that's where I'm from. So to the same high school as AI, obviously not at the same time. I'm not as old as him. He's not old, but you already know. Went to Bethel High and walking down the school hallways, playing basketball, seeing his jersey and seeing his picture was just always motivating to
That's
be
what's
at a
up.
school like
Yeah.
that. But a few days ago, Allen Iverson was honored with a street back home called the Allen Iverson Way. And the idea of it is like, it could have been an avenue, it could have been a cul-de-sac. It could have been a street. If you think about it, when you have street signs, you get to choose. You don't get to choose, but depending on what it is, obviously a cul-de-sac can't be
What is that?
a
Yeah.
freeway, but
Mhm.
they said way. And when he did his acceptance speech with the mayor was just like, this is the Allen Iverson way, but this is the Allen Iverson way. His way of doing things is now a street way.
Yeah.
They gave Missy Elliott a street too, and then in
Mhm.
addition to it, they're gonna name that is officially the Allen Iverson Day. And to add to it, shout out to my hometown, on April 12th, they will be unveiling the Allen Iverson sculpture at the Philadelphia
Mm.
76ers Arena in Philly.
Let's go. Well deserved. Well
Yes.
deserved.
Man,
You
it's
know,
so
Allen Iverson is my favorite player. He's the reason why, like, I used to have a headband, an arm sleeve, and all that when I
what?
was younger.
We were supposed to be friends. Like you should have
Like
came
my
play in my
whole
high
game was
school.
emulated off of Allen Iverson. He was my favorite player. So yeah,
Really? Okay, what was your favorite sneaker from the AIs? I know you're a
I
sneaker.
didn't really get into the sneakers. I was more the Jordan type, but
Okay, you didn't
when you
like it?
talking about like looking at the game and playing, if you had a player that you wanted to emulate, it was definitely Allen Iverson.
It's funny because he from the Tide. Shout out to Tidewater. This is if y'all want to know why AI is the way he is, and I ain't talking artificial intelligence.
Right, we
I'm talking
ain't
Allen
doing that.
Iverson. It's something in the water. We from the same
Yeah,
hood, so it's
for
like it's
sure.
honorable, and it makes me as a person from my community wanting to be able to walk in his footsteps and do something great, and do something like the Allen Iverson way.
And you know what's crazy? He was, in your hood, of course, but then he went to Georgetown in DC. Isn't that crazy?
And then went to Philly. I
All
was in
right.
Philly. Come on, yo. Like I've been everywhere.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm
that's
like a baby
crazy.
AI. I was Hampton. I went to DC. Then I went to Philly. Yo, like it's something.
You
Yeah,
doing it the Allen Iverson way.
yes, and he
Yeah.
fast. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that is incredible. No, but yeah, shout out to AI.
Yeah.
I wish that I could be there I don't know, God willing, if we could be out there, that'd be crazy. But
Yeah.
but speaking of, testimonials, I just gave his testimonial.
Yeah.
Curious
Yeah.
about you. What are the testimonials that you have this week? Like talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on with
So we
you.
got 3 new students this week, and that was yeah, that was big. You know what I'm saying? Just people from all walks of life. Like, I mean, yeah, I think what was so significant about it is to see, they actually took the course, they completed the course. And when I had that one-on-one session with them, they were able to reiterate the things that they've learned from it and ask very valuable questions. And they told me that, I just got a lot of value from this session and, from the course and everything. So that was just like, really good to hear. And so I highlighted them in our channel and everything for their completion. And it was just a great week. So, I basically connected them to the Signals channel. So now they're starting to work on trading on their own. And that's what it's about. I want people to be independent and be able to make their money whenever they want and however they want. So, yeah.
Spoken like a true money psychologist. I'm so proud of you. So how many students do
Thank
you have
you.
now?
I have 8 now. Yeah.
8.
So let's
What do you
let's
have a goal,
let's
like a number?
screenshot this. Let's record this because this time next year, my goal is to have at least 1,000 students. So
Oh, you just answered I literally just was
yeah.
like, so what's okay? So 1,000 this time next year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so scalable. Like
Yeah.
I love it that you putting it out there, that you saying it. You got to speak things into existence. And I'm not surprised. I took the course, and for the people that probably are wondering about my strategy, I have not jumped back in, y'all.
Yeah.
My teacher told me to make sure that I'm all right and that I'm in a good space. I've been in the process of juggling this album, and that's wrapping up and everything right now, but I want to be able to devote to it and give it my full attention. And I think, to be honest, when I do pick back, I'm almost there. I think that Ramadan is over April 9th. I'm not saying that it's going to take me that long, but I feel like I want to be completely purified and open to be received, because it was very easy to digest. You don't have to stop your life to make it make sense. But I know for me, I'm juggling a lot. And what I went through recently, I wasn't in a mental space to do it, but I can't wait. Am I one of the 8 students, or would I be 9?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'm one of 8. Okay, so cool. I'm 8. All right. But yes, I'm excited. My mom's is going to be joining as well soon. And I know that I got a code, I got a promo code or something. Do I have a code?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll put that, or we can talk about that now. We're gonna put it in the comments. What you want to do?
I mean, anybody that's watching our show anyway, period, is flip your chips. So you get a nice little discount for that. So
And you want to make some money and flip your chips?
yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm
And so
saying?
we gonna put the link in the bio, in the description. Put your link in the description, and yeah, we gonna go from there.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay. I'm proud of you. This is exciting.
Yeah.
3 new students. You got 8 students, man. I'm not surprised. And I feel like it's always greater later. And the things that we have coming down the pipeline, man, it's gonna be an incredible summer. We're gonna be flipping our chips.
Yes.
I'm getting rich.
Yes.
Got it up 6. Yo, they like that's the anthem. We got an anthem.
I'm telling you, it's like so many people from all different walks of life. And we were just talking about this before the show. just how many different ways you can flip your chips, man. Like this is going to expand to so many different levels. It's not even funny. So I'm excited about
I
that.
want to, since we're putting things out there, I want to give a pre-shout out because this audience will know what we're talking about. But I'm gonna say shout out to Dale and Rich.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hooker Seafood Joint in Philly. Shout out to the studio in Philly. And yeah, I just want to say they flipping their chips over there. I just want to say that.
Big
So
time.
we should, maybe we should incorporate that.
Yeah.
A flip your chips highlight of the week. Who
Yeah.
a highlight? That'll be a nice segment. So I don't, this could be a premature one that we're doing
Yeah.
right now. But I think that'll be really awesome to shed light on the people that we see outside of mogul moves. Like, hey,
I
specifically,
agree.
you flip
Yeah.
your chips, we want to honor you.
Yeah. Yep. I love that. I love that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the flip. All right. We already kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but this week, for the flip, we're going to talk about toxicity. And that's a heavy topic, to be honest with you. So when you think about that, what how is that relatable to you, and what are some things that you do to kind of eliminate toxic vibes in your life?
Man, there's that's a great question. There's so many ways that we could go and approach this. Like some people could literally look at detox as just food. I want to make sure that I'm eating the right food. So I'm going to take wellness shots and drink green juices and but still could be toxic in the mouth. Like it's a lifestyle. I don't think that's why I said intentionally, like if I curse or I say anything wrong, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not speaking ill about people. I don't naturally, but if somebody pisses me off, like the guy that I threw the burrito at when I meant to flip the chip, like he's somebody that like toxic wise, I don't feel like I was being toxic, but I was talking bad about a person.
Right.
I was really trying to flip my chips. I let it go. But I think we got to be cognizant that our mouth can be toxic. We could be in the gym every day, lifting, drinking all the water, all the coconut water, eating sea moss, but your mouth toxic. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes toxicity could just be the environment. Like you could be in a group of toxic people. It's like, you ever get around people and it's like, man, you talk about everybody. Like, and then I'll be like, well,
Oh my gosh, those type of people get on my nerves, but go ahead.
it scares me because it's like, if you're talking about everybody like that, then what you saying about me?
Exactly. Exactly.
I think I think one of the best ways to detox, like fasting, like myself, obviously I don't have anything in my system, but detoxing from everything. Like one thing about me, you'll know me, I'll go ghost. And if you love me and you overstand me, you won't take it personally. I'll do anything to protect my purity. Like that interview, you saw that clip that I just dropped. I think the best compliment you can give me is that you, like I said, love my energy, because I know that I didn't buy it from Nordstrom's. I'm not wearing it on my neck. I didn't like it. It's the greatest thing. So when people say that to me, I know that that's because of the shadow work I'm doing that no one sees.
Yeah.
And I put it to you like this: when you just mentioned it was very different, right? I think it is a superpower to learn how to master your energy. The interview, we were talking about energy, and I'm like, the best compliment you can give me is that you love my energy, because I didn't buy it from Nordstrom's. I'm not wearing it on my neck. It's because of the shadow work that I'm doing that nobody sees. So that doesn't mean that I can't have toxic traits and toxic moments, but I detach from the world when I feel too much toxicity. When it's like, yo, your energy's rubbing off on me, or you got too much going on, I'm going to introvert. And I think space is one of the biggest keys to toxicity. It could be a person. When we talk off air, sis, I think sometimes love can become toxic.
Oh yeah, that's one of the major ones right there.
Yeah, like love can be toxic because you love so much it turns into toxicity. It's like, yo, your love is a little toxic. I don't need you to love me like that. Love needs space. Think about the love that God has for us. All we have is space with God. We could be in close proximity with God, but we really have a lot of space. How can God love us and we feel this connection with God and we can't see or touch him, but for some reason we could feel it?
Yeah.
If we had too much of anything, it's bad. So I think that like we could beat I'm not going to say the Bible or the Quran, but we got to modify and understand what it is that we're consuming. Am I getting too much of it? I was drinking matcha every day. They said matcha is good for you, but then it could become toxic if I'm adding sugars and lavender and sweeteners and things like that. So we got to first define what toxic is. What would you, I mean, I don't know what you have to say in regards to what I say, but my question to you would be, what do you define as toxic?
I mean, I think it's really pretty simple. Like toxic is just anything that takes away from like you said earlier, your purity,
Mm.
your clarity. It's a distraction. It is a negative magnet. You know what I mean? It pulls you away from what you really should be focused on and what you should be doing. And when I think about the past situations where there's might have been people that were toxic or environments that were toxic, you have to understand and basically differentiate, okay, is this situation changing, or is it time for me to change my situation? And I feel like if you can understand that, so you ever like been committed to something and it's like there's some good things there, but then there's also some bad things there.
Mhm.
And it's like I don't want to prematurely step away from it yet, because I don't want to say that I didn't give my all in this situation before I do so. And that was one of the hardest lessons for me, like in my mid-20s, is learning how to differentiate the two. When is it time to step away and when is it time to step through, right? And the way that I determined that was, okay, did I give my all in this situation? If it's yes, and the situation is still what it is, it's time to change my situation. If I didn't give my all, okay, now let me continue to push the pavement and see what that turns into. And if nothing changes then I can say, okay, I can peacefully walk away from this situation, and then I can move forward and change situations that I have control over. So yeah.
I want to ask you something. That was man, that was heavy.
Yeah.
When you say that you look at something and be like, I've given it my all, do I need to change? What resonated with me and made me reflect on my own personal situations is that, what if it's that you thought you gave your all? So it's like, I gave my all, I'm about to bounce. But in reality, you needed to change. I wonder if that's an issue. Like, I could say that I gave it my all. But then
Mhm.
in hindsight, once I sat with myself, I'm like, oh, I needed to change. Not change for them, not
Mhm.
change for whoever. Like, it was a personal choice to change. But how would you, I guess, explain to somebody like the difference between giving it your all and realizing that, did you give it your all because that's what you thought, but then after you got your knowledge and wisdom, it's like, oh, I gave it my all, but I need to give it my all in a different way because I need to make a change.
Well, honestly, that's a great question, by the way. Um,
Thank you.
it, it really comes down to what are the results of your actions, right? So if um if you're in a situation and you're giving it your all, you're going to see positive results if it's conducive to your life. You see what I'm saying? So let's just say I have a friendship, and in this friendship, I have to be a little bit more patient with this person. So giving it my all for me, patience might not be my strong suit. You see what I'm saying? So I might be like, okay, I need to be a little bit more patient with this. Or I need to be more patient in this situation and give them time to figure out what they need to do for themselves. And in return, of course, I'm developing as a person, not because I want to change for them, because I want to change for me. So even if that person doesn't do their part, I'm walking away with something versus nothing. You see what I'm saying? So with me being patient, and it's like, okay, I give myself a deadline. You have to give yourself some type of timeline,
Okay.
right? Because if you're just going and going and you look up at 2 or 3 years and passed and nothing has changed, well, something is wrong. Versus, okay, let me measure this out. Okay, from let's say 6 months from now, this is where we are now. Let's track the behaviors that we've been having over this time frame. And if I see improvement with that, because I'm not expecting you to be perfect, right? But if I see that you're making effort and changing, then that's different. Now I'm not gonna work with you because I know you're working on yourself. So
I know
yeah.
we gotta wrap soon, but I wanna ask this question then too. You know how we talked about detoxing and taking
Mhm,
space and
mhm,
making changes. This is an incredible episode, by the way.
yeah.
How would you gauge if you make, let's say you made a change, and in that change, you took space, complete space. You're not dealing with anybody or anything completely.
Yeah.
At what point do you know? I'm trying to figure out how to answer this. I ask this, like, if I detox from a situation and I'm just like, I break away and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this for an extensive period of time. How do you even gauge, like, if this situation hasn't changed, if you're not talking, or if you're not in that situation at all because you fasted completely?
Well, like you said, when you fast, you get a different perspective, right? You get a different level of appreciation. So if let's just say I'm a chain smoker, right? And I say, I'm not going to smoke for 30 days. After that 30 days, your body feels different. Your mind is different. So when I look at a cigarette now, it's different. It's like, nah, I'm not putting that back in me. You see what I'm saying? So if that person still has those same traits and still has those same behaviors, your perspective is different now because you stepped away from it. So now you see it for what it really is. It's I'm not smoking that cigarette again. I'm not putting that back into me. Now let's just say that switched over to something that was, I don't know, I'm just throwing out something like some herbs or something that's conducive for you. That's different. You feel me? Okay, now that's helping me and it's helping you. So you get a different perspective when you step away. And that's how you know if it's something you should do or not. So
I'll say this, that was a great point. I'll say this in closing, something to be mindful of are the things that impact the environment, right? Sometimes when you're fasting, be mindful of who you're listening to, who's influencing you. And also too, social media can be a tool to destruct and demise. Some people don't know how to articulate. They don't have therapists, life coaches, or friends. And I would say that when people are suffering, have, like you said, patience and empathy, because everybody expresses things differently. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, but just have a better outlet and don't allow that to be, sometimes when people are hurt, their mission to hurt you is greater than them trying to heal you together.
yeah.
And I can say that from personal experience, but this has been incredible. I love today's episode. Your perspective, I can't wait to go back and watch this.
Yes.
Yeah, flip your chips, man. This is incredible. Make sure y'all like, y'all subscribe, you turn on your post notifications, and sign up for bluechipsacademy.com. Use the code.
Flipping my chips, I'm getting rich, running up digits.